Just Beachy with Deb
and Wendy.
Growing up in the 70s in our Toronto Beach neighborhood was a time unlike any other. Bell-bottom pants, high handlebars and banana seats, water buffalo sandals, crazy adventures, and home with the streetlights. We have lots of stories to share.
So sit back and join Deb and I while we reminisce about the people and times that shaped our lives.
Well, hello and welcome back. This is Deb.
And this is Wendy.
And this is our second podcast of Just Beachy. We've been hearing all kinds of happy news regarding our first podcast. People are listening, and we're very excited to bring you another.
And I have to give a shout out because last week I did mention my 4 kids and my granddaughter, but I forgot to mention my 6 pets. My 3 dogs being Rory, Tilly, and Archie, and our 3 cats being Finnegan, Duncan, and Huey. So sorry about that, guys. So I'm just giving them a shout out this week.
They're family members too.
They are.
And as we are doing this podcast, you're going to hear Oliver the cockapoo in the background. He just finished dinner, so he might be a bit rambunctious. But that's not Wendy shaking. It's not me. It's the dog.
It's the dog.
It's the dog. So we're remembering when, and we remember all the things that influenced us as we grew up, and TV was probably one of the biggest influence, right? So we've been kind of reminiscing about some of the TV shows that made us who we are today. And what was your favorite show back in the 70s?
For me, it would have to be my Friday nights watching the Brady Bunch with the Partridge Family following right behind. Like, I could not wait for the new season to see how they had changed over the summer vacation, right? And I probably related more to Jan than Marcia. Marcia. I was definitely...
It's because I was Marcia.
Yeah, for sure. For sure, eh? Yeah, so I was definitely a Jan, and I wanted her hair, I wanted to dress like her. I mean, to me, not many people would say this out loud, but I thought she was ultra cool.
You heard it here first. Well, I don't know if this is the appropriate time to talk about your hair, but picture this. Small house, family of, at that point, 6, 1 bathroom, getting ready for school in the morning, and Wendy's got the hairdryer, and she's just grooming. She's grooming, transforming herself into what later became known as Farrah Fawcett Minor. So I would have thought that you would say Charlie's Angels was your...
Well, later on in life, for sure. I mean, it took an about turn. After, I guess, the Brady Bunch and the Partridge Family went off the air, then came Charlie's Angels, and I have to say, for you were Sabrina.
Always.
We didn't have a Jacqueline Smith in there. What was her name on the show? I can't remember now.
Oh, somebody else.
Was it Kelly?
Kelly. You're good.
Right. And I was Jill.
Dig down into the deep, the deep reaches of our mind. Well, your hair looked nice. It all looked good.
Oh, I spent a lot of time back then, as you're right.
And we'd be lined up in the hallway having to go to the bathroom. Wendy, please hurry, I gotta pee.
Well, and I can remember during that phase of my life, I was in high school, the social convener at that time at Malvern Collegiate Institute.
Yay, Honor Malvern!
And I had the History of Rock from Chum come. They were touring schools, and I was able to get them to come and do an assembly and play the History of Rock. And after they came and left, the next day the DJ, and I can't remember who it was at that time, I can see him, but I can't think of his name, said on the radio out loud, like, yes, we were at so-and-so school yesterday at Malvern Collegiate, and you would not have believed, the social convener there, she was Farrah Fawcett Minor, and I was teased forever and a day over that.
Mercilessly.
Yes, it took a long time to get over.
Kids can be so mean.
I don't think I changed my hair, though.
No,
but
I can attest to that. We were still standing in line every morning. waiting to pee and brush our teeth and get ready for school. Yes.
But it's who I identified with back then.
That's right.
Oh, man. I guess there could have been worse people I could have identified with. So,
Well, yeah. So, yeah, we watched a lot of TV in our household. It was
did.
always on. The TV was always on.
And that was the day of having to get up off the couch and turn the channel on the TV, because there's no such thing as cable or anything back then.
No.
I don't even think we had a color TV for a long time.
No, we didn't. Graham got one first.
That's right. Yeah, I got
for the
everything
Olympics.
first.
For the Olympics. 72 Olympics.
Oh, wow.
Something like that.
I did not know that.
Maybe 76. But, yeah, they got one early. And it was a color. We don't know what colors they were, but they're different than black and white. But yeah, then we got our color TV. But I remember the TV just had a different quality back then. We grew up with, especially with the younger brothers and sisters, Sesame Street started in the 70s. And that was like earth-shaking. It was like all this focus on education, and our younger brother, I think he was glued to it most of the time as a teaching tool. But
True.
it was so good. The Friendly Giant, with Rusty and Jerome. Those characters are so beloved to us in Canada. And Chez Hélène, you mentioned that.
Yep.
She would speak a little bit of French, and we picked that up a little bit. And Louise, what was the mouse's
Suzette.
name? Suzette.
Suzette the mouse.
Suzette.
Well, I can remember being home, like the days I would be homesick, and that was like the lineup was Chez Hélène, Mr. Dressup, or maybe it was Friendly Giant because he was only 15 minutes as well, and then Mr. Dressup for a half an hour. And then Sesame Street came on after that.
Yeah, they were short back then. When the boys were little, it was Under the Umbrella Tree. I love that show. I can still sing the little song.
Or
that
Polka Dot
introduced-
Door, like when our kids were, when
I
my
missed
kids
him
were-
again. Pokaroo. Yeah, there were some. That really formed us. It opened the world to us in our little old neighborhood. We were taken places. We were taught things. We were shown how to behave. Social etiquette and grace and all that kind of stuff. And that was important back then, I think.
But one lunchtime show that didn't shape our lives, but everyone rushed home at lunch to watch it was the Flintstones.
Oh, yeah.
I can remember like running home. So, you'd get home, watch the show, eat your lunch, and then you'd have to go back to school.
That's true.
Like, those are the days you didn't stay at school for lunch.
Well, that's
right?
true. There were the other shows that had an influence on us, like I Love Lucy. I mean, what's with Ricky putting her over his lap and spanking her bum? I mean, what self-respecting feminist would eat that up? I mean, and Lucy was a strong person.
Yes.
But that was the time.
Yeah.
And I can't watch I Love Lucy anymore. It just angers me. I feel badly because it reminds me of the times when I was little and I watched Mom and I watched mothers sort of behaving like the perfect woman and having to be coiffed. And I know friends who had to be bathed before Dad came home.
Oh, wow.
Yep. To present them in their finest. And that was a sort of a 50s thing, but it carried into the 70s.
Right. Yeah.
Yep. So, yeah, we watched early on the Brady Bunch and the Partridge Family. And, of course, was it Sean Cassidy, who just turned 81 last week?
No, No.
Oh, no.
Bobby Sherman.
Bobby Sherman. I was getting confused. They had the same
Sean
hair.
Cassidy, I think, is about my age.
Did he die? Is he? No, that was
No.
David.
David Cassidy passed away. Yeah.
I can't keep.
I know.
Everybody's dying. And we watched Get Smart.
Yes. In our earlier, before, I think, pre-Brady Bunch and Partridge Family, it was Get Smart.
I loved Get Smart. I loved that shoe phone. I wanted that shoe phone. In fact, I pretended my shoe was a phone a lot. Because back then we had to dial things, right? So it was a unique way to make a phone call.
Did you even have to do that as an experiment when you went to Ryerson?
Oh,
You had to do that on the subway?
We had to do some abhorrent behavior, like abnormal, and act really silly. And I had somebody come along with me and take notes. But I had a box of raisins with a toothpick antenna. And I was talking into it. And people were like, what? It was early rush hour. And I probably didn't do it well. But I raised some eyebrows. And it was kind of embarrassing, too.
Mission accomplished.
Mission accomplished.
Well, probably more embarrassing, though, was us with the neighborhood kids playing Get Smart. I'm not sure how we could play it, but we somehow managed to.
You were always 99.
No.
No?
No, you had no role for me.
Oh, that's right.
So you were Get Smart. Kathy was 99.
Oh, our friend Kathy.
I can't remember who Jaime was, but you created a character for me, so I was Mimi, Jaime's girlfriend, because there was no other role for me.
We were so creative. When in doubt, make something. That's the way we rolled. Well, and we also had a band, the Archies.
Yeah.
Based on the Archies. We sang the Archies song.
In the backyard.
In the backyard, with no instruments.
No. We were the first air band back there, man.
We played everything air.
But I think we sang it. And I'm sure neighbors kind of went, oh, there they go again. Oh.
We put on a lot of shows back in our day.
Oh, big time.
We were kind of like, well, I guess our greatest hit was Guitar's Hand.
Oh, my gosh. By, Stevens.
Yeah, Ray.
Ray Stevens, yeah. That was a common thing that we did in our household for company. And I'm not sure how we even got started.
We got trotted out like the entertainment committee.
Anytime my mom had company over, it was just like we had to put on a show.
Okay, this is really embarrassing, but our performance of Guitar Zan became well known throughout the neighborhood. And people would come from blocks around to watch us perform. And Wendy had long hair, front and back.
Yep.
She looked like Cousin It from the Addams Family. When she didn't have bangs, she just had 360 hair. So she would put on. What did you wear? You were Jane. She was Jane.
I was Jane
in the song.
And if you know the song at all, look it up. It's hysterical to listen to.
Guitar Zan.
But I would just brush my hair right down over my face, and that was me.
But you had glasses on.
No,
over top, didn't you?
No, I think.
Or was that Cousin It? I don't know.
No, that's Cousin. Yeah, no, I didn't wear glasses. I think I just brushed my hair down over my face. And our younger brother Joe, he was the chimpanzee.
He was. He did that well.
He did.
He was like, 6. Good chimpanzee Joe.
He was a good sport with that.
Mm-hmm.
And you played the guitar and you were the singer.
I don't think he had a choice.
I don't think my older brother Arthur was in it. I think it was just the three of us.
He was always on protest.
Oh,
he did not entertain. Well, he did sometimes, but when he was younger. But yeah, I had the guitar and we lip synced it. We were very good at it.
We were very good at it.
And it was phenomenal. It was like, I wish somebody had it on video. Nowadays,
it would have been.
It would have been a viral video.
Oh my gosh.
Oh dear. Yeah, we had a number of numbers. And one summer, I was a playground leader with the Parks and Recreation Department, and I do crafts. I sing. I don't do athletics. I don't know what I was doing on a playground. So volleyball, great. Baseball, I could play, but. I had a whole bunch of kids from the neighborhood, and they weren't really athletic either. So we put on a show, and they had a talent show with the Parks and Recreation at the end of the summer. So we worked on a number, and Wendy had a solo.
I did. Top of the world. Carpenters.
Best song ever.
I made it to the semifinals and lost out to a chick that sang the same song as I did.
And that was just, you should have had a sing off with a different song, because you were good. And
I thought it was.
I know.
Still am.
You are. No. You're wonderful. I have to say that because
such a feeling's coming over me. There is wonder in most everything I see.
Okay, we're at 14 minutes now, almost 15. But that was good.
Thanks.
Just a little sample.
A sample.
Of course, you were like 10 back then. But how old were you? You were like 10, 11, 12.
Probably, yeah.
10, 11, 12.
No, maybe 12.
Maybe
11, 12.
Maybe. Not the kids.
And it wasn't even in the beach. It was, I guess, Upper Beach.
I guess we shouldn't talk about it because it's not beachy.
Sorry.
Oh, dear.
Sorry.
We went north.
It was Upper Beach.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was in the vicinity of the beach.
Yes.
You could take a bus to the beach. It would be like a half-hour walk to our house. But yeah, it was a great. I loved it. The kids were great, and I was like Julie Andrews in The Sound of Music, getting the balls, do it, even though they didn't really want to sing that much, we got them doing it, and they loved being part of the talent contest. So you never know. That's a fond memory of remembering when. But yeah, a lot of that. I think a lot of the things we saw on TV, the models that we were given, gave us the courage to try things.
Mm-hmm.
In a good way. I'm thinking of other TV shows that might not have, but the ones that we watched.
Well, and then later on in the 70s, you had Mary Tyler Moore.
Oh.
That was one of our favorite shows.
Fabulous.
And then, you know, you had The Love Boat and Fantasy Island that came on Saturday nights.
Mm-hmm.
And that was how I spent my Saturday nights before I was allowed to go out and socialize. Before Mom let me out of the house.
That's right. You're not going out.
Yeah.
Young lady.
And Saturday Night Live, like that was just something totally...
It's still pretty brilliant.
Yeah.
I mean, how long has it been on?
1975.
God.
So back then, I was, 14? When it first premiered.
Mm-hmm. I remember. And the Not Ready for Primetime Players.
Mm-hmm.
Legendary.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are Canadian.
Yeah.
And, you know, they're still, like... I'm thinking they morphed over the decades and became actors in their own right in different ways.
Yeah.
I still feel sadly about Gilda having died so young.
Yeah.
You know, just when she found happiness. But I love them all. And looking back, like, they were just so creative, out of the box. SCTV as well.
Yeah.
We really love that. I have the collection. I still watch it.
Yeah.
And that has translated into Schitt's Creek. You know?
Well, exactly. Like Catherine O'Hara, you know, her Joey Heatherton impersonation back then.
I want to have your baby.
Yeah, I'm going to bury your children.
You do a much better, Joey Heatherton. She was hilarious.
Oh, and Eugene Levy. I mean, God, you can't beat it.
No.
Yeah.
And in person, apparently, he's very shy. And, you know, kind of, you know, very nice. But you get him in, you know, like some of the mockumentaries with Christopher Guest, like Best in Show.
Yeah.
Oh, those are great. If you haven't watched them, look up those, I guess, Spinal Tap and Best in Show for your consideration. A Mighty Wind. They're all down here at my feet in my DVD collection. I just adore them. So, yes, well, we've rambled on. SNL. Life-changing television. And Mary Tyler Moore, when that was really a hit, here I was, Ryerson, in journalism, finding my way, making it after all. And, you know, we really did. The women in journalism, which were really kind of few, back in the 70s, we would maybe write an entertainment column. We wouldn't do hard news. And so we're breaking the ceiling, baby.
You know? On your typewriters.
Yeah, on the typewriter with paper with three pieces of paper with two carbons.
What was it that time? And
I'm a dinosaur.
This has nothing to do with TV shows or that, but just because you said that, when you and Mom stayed up all one night and she read to you so you could type, you had an assignment.
Oh yeah, I had handwritten it.
Yeah, and you had to type it, and I think she read it to you, and you guys stayed up all night so you could get it done. Sitting in the kitchen, I can remember that. I think I gave up on you guys and went to bed because I was exhausted. But you guys worked halfway through the night to get it done so you could hand it in the next day.
Isn't that something? Yeah, that was a good effort, Mom. I have to admit that there have been many nights like that, even when I was in divinity school, all-nighters. Because, you know, even writing homilies, I'll get halfway through the week and rewrite it because, you know, I think of something else to say. But, yeah, those are without the computer, right?
Yeah.
And double-spaced and whiteout. I'm sure it looked like a dog's breakfast by the time I finished it.
Well, even as we were mentioning earlier, too, to ourselves, or with each other to ourselves.
I talk a lot to myself.
How even like watching the TV shows, because our phone was on a wall in the middle of the hallway between the living room and the front door and the den. And so if the phone rang, we had a really long cord that you could just kind of take
it was like 20 feet long.
Yeah, and go in another room, right?
Yeah, privacy, yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes I went in the cupboard.
Exactly. But yeah, back in the day where there were dial phones and you had to answer the phone because it kept on ringing. You couldn't set,
That's
3
true.
rings and that's it, right? Like
when we first moved there, I believe we had a party line. I think we shared the line.
Oh, wow.
Because I remember, and that ended pretty quickly because I think it was the area, and that's what they did. They didn't have a lot of lines, so Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So we finally got our own dedicated line.
Jeez.
And all bets were off. I think I was on that phone every night for 2 hours anyway. Deb, get off that phone. It's like Wendy in the bathroom with her hair. It was Deb on the phone at night.
But during the day, Mom would be on the phone talking to Graham from like 9 to 11. They'd have a bathroom break, refill their coffee, probably empty their ashtrays. And then from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock, well, we were all back to school. And I think they did the same thing all over again.
I know.
I don't know what they talked about, but
I have no
they
idea.
found something to talk about.
Probably about their stories, their soaps.
That too. Oh, they probably had to take breaks for that too. Remember the Edge Night?
Yes.
It was only on for 15 minutes.
In the Secret Storm.
Not that they shaped our lives, because I couldn't understand anything back then. But
There's a lot of...
Another World, best soap opera ever.
Yes.
That was, yeah.
I know.
Rachel, Mac, Ida, Mitch.
I never watched it. I watched All My Children.
Oh,
All
yeah.
My Children.
I was an Another World
I was
fan.
an Erica fan. I'm looking at the time. We've gone on for 22 minutes.
Oh, my goodness.
Time flies when you're
Reminiscing.
I feel like singing this song. Walking
Friday
through
night,
the...
it was late, I was walking home, we got down to the gate.
I was dreaming of the night.
Should have turned out right. Okay, I'll stop.
We're getting
Sorry.
punchy. We had pizza. That was a mistake.
We're on a cheese hut.
I was going to say pepperoni, but cheese works too. Well, I hope you have enjoyed whatever this was. Because I'm not sure anymore. Well, we had fun.
Yeah.
And, I think we're going to call it a night. If you have any comments, please make them nice.
But, like, this is what it's all about. We're going to remember when, but we may stray a little, but, that's okay. We're having a lot of fun doing it. It's only our second episode in, but there's lots more to come.
We'll find our way.
Yes.
We'll find our voice, as they say in the profession. We'll find our voice.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah. And if you're listening and you're from that time in the 70s and you know us and you'd like to be a guest,
Yeah, let us know.
we can arrange that. We can embarrass you on radio too.
But this is who we are. So I hope you enjoy listening to us. And until next time, take care.
Goodbye.
And goodbye.